All right, hello everybody. It's Anthony Stewart, Food for Thought. My journey and this channel is all about questioning everything they've ever said and trying to guide you through my anecdotal experience, my N of one, my experiment on myself. And I am, full disclosure, a animal-based, carnivore-ish eater, and I have recently reintroduced beef, butter, bacon, and eggs back into my life. And I'm currently on day 7, and the reasons why, because I just did a video on finding your why, would be simply last time I felt so good, and not that I didn't feel good after, but I'm my body fat percentage dropped. And now I'm sort of, I guess you could say, coaching somebody through this as well. And I thought, hey, why not do it with them? So this is day 7, and how I'm feeling is great. The sun's out, which is huge. I've been out in the sun yesterday, going to go out today, get a workout in. And just sort of like my little progression through this is, it's very simple. What I'm doing right now is, when I'm starting to feel remotely hungry, I will eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And probably on bacon on the minimum. I've only had bacon like one day. And I eat as much as I possibly can until I'm pretty much full, or my body says no more. And then I don't want to see food again until I'm hungry again, which is kind of funny. So I think there's a lot of things at play there. There's some intuition, some natural hormonal circadian rhythms sort of kicking in, where my body's just telling me when to eat, and I'm listening to it as best I can. Now, sometimes convenience gets in the way, but when I'm on the road, I will pack and prep my food, which usually consists of a lot of steak and fat. That's it. And yeah, I've been sort of mildly tracking my blood sugar, which is a little bit elevated, and I have some questions about that, but it's nothing to be concerned of, I believe. Once again, I am not a doctor. I am not a scientist. I'm not trying to diagnose you. I'm trying to show you another approach to health, wellness, and maybe give you some inspiration to question it for yourself. Do I believe everybody should be carnivore? Science tends to point that way, from what I gather. But we're trying to meet you where you're at, and I'm just trying to show you my anecdotal experience. So, what I eat in a day, usually, it's very simple. Right now, I cook as much beef in the form of ground beef or steak as I think I can eat, and if I don't eat it all, I save it for later. Then I cook about anywhere from 2 to 4 eggs, sometimes just the yolks. And I'm not afraid to put butter on my meat, and I am just eating that until satiety, which hopefully my body is realizing this naturally. Now, as far as nutrition goes, everything's in eggs, everything's in meat. Supplements, when I do work out, if I'm going to be working out vigorously, I will supplement potassium. I generally take a magnesium every night. Why? Because I think it's more of a cover your own ass. What, do I need it? I'm not sure. Is it good to have magnesium? Absolutely. Potassium, and I'm salting my food liberally. And on the days that I work out, I will take about a half teaspoon of salt in some water before, about 60 to 90 minutes before the workout. And there's a bunch of reasons why that. If you want to know more why I do it, there's a book that I haven't got yet, but I will be acquiring. It's called Win by Dr. James DiNicolantonio and Sim Land, and it explains, he's an author of The Salt Fix, which explains how salt has been misused, and it's one of those myths that's in the modern society that salt is bad, and he's got a lot of reasons why it is not. And I mean, from what I've gathered with electrolytes, and salt is very, very arguable compared to just having sodium in a bunch of processed food, which probably is not a good thing. So yes, I'm salting my food liberally with a good quality Himalayan pink salt and Andean pink salt, and I use Redmond's real salt from time to time. Once in a while, I'll take some liver, and once again, do I need it? I don't think so. For my context, I just do it for the extra copper and to balance out the iron. Um, Whether that's required or not, in my situation, it might not be, but in people's lives where they're not getting enough vitamin A, iron, or copper, and B vitamins, liver could be a very powerful addition to a diet. I get mine from Higher Healths. It's a grass-fed, grass-finished company that freeze dries the liver from Leduc, Alberta. And when I'm taking it, I take 6 capsules, and that's kind of the way I stand on that. But as far as everything else goes, my energy's back. Well, it's good. My sleep was disrupted a little bit at the start. Maybe that's because the microbiome shifting. But now it's back. It's good. I sleep well. My blood sugar is a little elevated, like I was saying, but it's probably a natural thing. I'm not concerned because there's no big glucose excursions. I'm pretty baseline. And I tend to, when I go for a walk, my blood sugar comes down to like reasonable normal levels. And yeah, so I do have some questions about that, but that's for another day. And now I just want to get out in the sun as much as possible now that the sun is shining. And that's pretty much it. Um, I just wanted everybody to know that, if you are actually thinking about doing this, remember there is a sort of a metabolic shift and a microbiome shift that might not be comfortable at first. So there's a few recommendations I would have. If you are very carb dependent, very carb addicted, you might want to take some time into going full meat and fat. It is different for everybody, and as far as your microbiome goes, you might want to keep the low sugar fruit, olives, cucumber, maybe some avocado. Dairy is questionable, but if you have questions about this and you want to try something, what my goal is to drop some body fat percentage. I know it's funny enough. I'm stuffing my face. Calories are insignificant in my opinion right now. I'm not worried about how much I'm eating. I'm worried about how I'm feeling, and that's pretty much the basic way. We're going to see what happens. Just for a little bit of a reference, I step on the scale every day, although I don't care. My weight was basically flatlining at 175 pounds. I am 5'6.5", 5'7", so that's a pretty good weight as far as I'm concerned. My body composition, I'm fairly lean. My abs are showing, so that's a good sign. And now I'm gonna see what happens. Now, last time my body fat or my weight dropped to 170, which is the lightest I've been since high school, but then fluctuated between 180 and 170 almost on the daily, like in that spectrum. And when I stopped beef, butter, and bacon and eggs after 30 days, it was 175 flat. Now, over the last 7 days, I have gained up to 6 pounds, like 181, and I'm back down to 175 as of this morning. So once again, I'm not worried about the scale. I'm more worried about how I feel, and taking these cues from, if I'm fatigued or energetic, how my workouts are. My workouts are I've been very basic. I've been doing some sprinting, some chin ups and some push ups, and some leg stuff. And now I'm incorporating a little bit more stretching, yoga, for my piriformis and my psoas, which is apparently really tight, and it's probably due to the amount of driving I do in a seated position. It's probably horrible, but we gotta live. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I wanted to just give a shout out there to all my subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel and supporting me. I know we're not many yet, but we're trying to work on that. And I also wanted to, if anybody's has any insight onto how to make these videos better, please don't hesitate to let me know. I am looking for some way of upping my social media game as far as production value. So I'm pretty much a noob and useless when it comes to editing and like production value. So any help would be greatly appreciated. But I do believe that I'm trying to stay genuine and not rehearsed. I want to sound like a conversation, and I want to have these conversations off the top of my head because I have some crazy ideas, and the questions I have should flow naturally. I don't want to be rehearsed. And, there'll be some times when I mark down things and discuss topics. But for the most part, I want to keep the science sort of to my learning, and I want to try and get it through to you in a layman, normal guy approach. And that's what I'm ideally trying to do here, is to question things, do my research, and then throw some what ifs at you. And yeah, so if anybody has any questions or would like to start a new dietary intervention or has questions about nutrition, I am studying to be a nutritionist. I do have a very, I'm trying to take the logical side of things and trying to learn a lot of different sides. And of course, I have bias, and of course, I have influence, but I do a lot of research on this stuff and understanding more and more the science. I'm understanding how to interpret science and who to listen to be honest with you, because anybody can teach anybody anything, but it's the quality of the information and where that knowledge stems from that probably is a big deal. So we can all read books, but what is the quality of the information, and how much of it is actually fact as opposed to this ideological dogma that's bombarding us from all sides? So I want to say, eat real food, guys. Processed food is the devil. And if you want to find out how to start making some changes, I have a whole host of videos that might help you out. I am available. Please don't hesitate to drop a comment below or email me for anything that you need. If you have a question that I can maybe help relate or answer, I'm all for it. And my job is, I'm believing that I'm here to help and maybe give you a different perspective on what is actually right. And the things that we've been told, there's a lot of noise out there, guys. And that's it for today. I want to say, keep going the way you're going. Stay strong. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you can. And if you think I might be able to help somebody else, by all means, share this. We're gonna get deep. We're gonna get dirty, and we want to answer some questions. And hopefully, we find some answers. And if we don't, we'll keep asking. All right, everybody. Have a good one.